Yeah. Well, let's go into one of the things on there was societal judgment. So we already touched on it before. So do you think that would affect and sometimes break up interracial relationships?
Yeah, it can. Societal judgment could definitely come from the history of the country. So when you have members of a society who are bred in the concept of you don't mix human races, then the environment you're in could definitely put a lot of strain on the relationship. Going to visit.
Your looks will fade. I assure you. Your looks will fade, ladies. How you carry yourself, that entitlement shit is lasting. And there's nothing worse than dealing with I want to say a poor attitude from a beautiful woman.
Roll me, Mac.
How can a man manage dating a woman obsessed with attention on social media? You manage it by removing yourself immediately, because if she loves attention if she loves attention more than she loves you. Now, do not misconstrue with loving somebody more than you love yourself. These are two different things we're talking about here. Now, loving yourself is loving the soul. Loving attention is loving the ego. You know what I mean? And the social media has done a number on the dating world in the last 15 years, 15 to 20 years, however long, Facebook, MySpace, all that shit, TikTok now, Instagram. I firmly believe that it is a detriment to anyone trying to be in a healthy relationship, because it highlights all of our insecurities. So you're not able to compete as a man. You're not able to compete with a woman who is obsessed with attention on social media. You're being an accessory to her. And a woman who sees you as an accessory will never respect you. She won't ever respect you. And not as a man. She'll respect you as an accessory to her life. And that shit is over, yo. This whole thing's narrative about, just doing right by the woman and all this other shit, you know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is at the cost of your dignity. You know what I mean? Like, she can be on social media flaunting whatever she wants to flaunt, still advertising herself to the world. Is this my best option, as we say in the manosphere? The way I see it, I'll speak for myself now, not so much a collective group thought theory, but if you're still promoting yourself out there to be seen like that and so obsessed with attention, you're not looking for anything serious. So why the fuck would I take you seriously? You know what I mean? Like, there's too much shit involved that men can lose their lives fucking with this shit. Like, falling for somebody who only gives a fuck about themselves and their ego and the attention that they seek on social media. Pretty much building a shrine to themselves. The family, you know what I'm saying? That girl that has all the family pictures, but they're centered around her. It's not really about the family. The family is an accessory. Everything is all about making her look good. You know what I mean? Me personally, I like the quiet women. I like the women that are secure with themselves, with their tribe, and they don't have to continuously seek attention. I mean, of course, we know from a mental health standpoint that it's love-seeking behavior. Call it attention-seeking behavior, but it's really love-seeking behavior. Everything we do boils down to love, but it's not there's no amount of me telling you I love you, how bad you are, any of that shit is going to ever fill that void that you have. You know, the ego, that that level of narcissism that you're dealing with in the mind. So, how I would tell a man that's trying to date a woman that got all that social media attention, it's not worth your time, man. I don't believe it is. I really don't believe it's worth the time at all, man. Find someone that is genuinely into you. That's it, man. Continue dating until you find someone that's genuinely into you, for you. You know what I mean? And because all that shit being online, just trying to gain attention, just want to have the biggest house, biggest car, all that stuff, man. I live under the creed of live a good life, live a great life, and tell no one. You know what I mean? Like that's just my mentality. And I'm sure there are women that think that, you know what I'm saying, that think the same. And I believe a lot of men would profit from that. As far as like trying to build, like in today's climate, and trying to build a relationship, it'll have to be it'll be with a woman that does not, because that social media is dangerous. Oh, it's dangerous, man. Yes, it's very, very dangerous. I've been on both sides of the coin. I have been the guy who was doing sneaky shit, Snapchat, because of the races. I've had it done to me. You know what I mean? Like again, that sneaky shit that goes on, and it ruins relationship. It fucking ruins the relationship as we know it. A lot of people pretending that everything is good, but they have to sneak to be validated in some other way. Be it porn, be it, graphic novels, sex novels, be it, the church, be it Snapchat, social media, DMs, whatever it is, man. Like, our insecurities are endless online, and social media will extract all of those if we let it, if we allow it. Like, to me, in a committed relationship, for me, that I'm not too much of a fan of that social media shit, I'll be honest, man. So I question if marriage will ever be in the cards for me, because social media is like something that people just they draw to. It's damaging. It's so fucking damaging. And having somebody that is so obsessed with like building their ego and just gaining as much attention as they can, believing that that's going to lead them somewhere, you're practically selling your soul. You're selling your soul for attention. You're selling your soul for likes. It'll never be enough. It never will. You live for the, Charlemagne the God likes to say, if you live for the cheers, you will die by the booze. It's something that eats at us all. Like, that social media will pick out your insecurities like nobody's business. And I believe we're all guilty of it. But as far as a man, dating a woman who was obsessed with social media like that, to that degree, like a Kim Kardashian constantly taking pictures type shit. Me personally, and I have nothing against Kim. I still find Kim to be very, very attractive. Have so since my early 20s. But I would never date a personality like that. Fuck all that guy she's known to be with. That personality of being in front of the damn camera all the time, like, there's no privacy. And granted, they built a dynasty off of it. Much respect to them, but at what cost? Is what I say. At what cost did you do it? No shame, no knock on it. You know what I'm saying? It's just not for me. But and being with somebody like such is not for me, because, like I said, I'm very much a private person. You'd be very, very hard pressed to find anything personal outside of me sharing shit. Like what I'm saying, like on these shows and whatnot. But as far as like pictures and stuff, maybe with, like I said, maybe like if you catch them with people with like my tribe or whatever, the tribe that I built, or even family too. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not posting shit. I'm just not. And again, I'm not saying that in a way that is demeaning anybody that does. I'm just saying that it's not for me, and any woman that would be looking to think long term with me and obsessed with social media. No, thank you. You can keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't even entertain such shit. Like that type of void won't ever be filled, and it's a lot of time and effort that can be moved into somebody else who actually values you. You know what I mean? So as far as dating or managing dating somebody that is obsessed with social media, don't.
Hey, what up, everybody? Yeah, do me a favor real quick. Just hit like, subscribe, and of course, comment if you have anything, obviously to mention about it.
How do you as a man feel about dating with a purpose? Well, I mean, very cliche. Anybody that's ever talked to me in the last 5 years, my purpose is the purpose, But as far as like the dating aspect goes, it's finding out the personalities as far as like who you could actually see something from a long-term standpoint. You know what I mean? Is what it would be for me. Like as far as dating with a purpose goes, it's like seeing what character traits, because you're not able to change people. But I mean, as far as like dating with a purpose, it's like as you're working towards your goals and like your purpose, being able to evaluate a woman's characters, character traits, her personalities. You know what I mean? And seeing like, is this woman someone that you could actually build something with? Or is this woman going to be a distraction? Does she complement your life or does she complicate your life? You know what I mean? And it's really important, especially in today's dating climate where you can decide to leave at any given moment and you just take everything that I fucking worked for. You know what I mean? In a blink of an eye. Just because you feel like you not want to be married anymore. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's like all women, but we definitely are in a very entitled climate when it comes to dating. Probably one of the worst times to be, I'd say, dating collectively. I'll say collectively. You know what I mean? There definitely are some women that will value you for sure. You know what I mean? And some that understand your purpose, and then there's some that want it to be about them. You know what I mean? And they don't usually last too long. They usually don't stick around too long, trying to be ahead of the purpose. And really like a woman that really gets it, for us men that are out here on our purpose and working towards goals, like building shit, literally building towards something, not bullshitting you, not running game, not saying something to avoid being in a committed relationship, or whatever you can try to come up with when you hear said thing, but really working towards something and knowing that the purpose takes care of everything that you would possibly desire at some point in time down the road, because you're talking about longevity, security, financial security, literally the physical security, all of that. It gets taken care of within the purpose. Now, a foundation must be built. Now, you're not going to have, it's not like getting to $100 million and thinking, okay, now, but getting to a base foundation for building something. You know what I mean? Like once that is there, where you're like, I'm good. Like you're not really living check to check, month to month type thing. Like your family lineage is good type thing. And it takes time. It really does. It really takes time to kind of build said thing. I've heard countless stories. Growing up, I've seen it and hearing about it. Obviously, we watched it in movies where you see couples get together and they struggle. They literally struggle. They work, dad's working 2 jobs, mom working 2 jobs, cleaning for hotels that she can't afford to stay in, and you know what I'm saying, like all that stuff. And shout out to the people that actually did that, that hustle like that. Much respect. I don't want that to be misconstrued as that tearing that down. But there are other ways, I believe, better financial literate ways to make it, to build financial security. And so dating with a purpose is evaluating such. Like who could you see yourself building like this kingdom with? Who's going to be able to manage all of this, help you manage this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what goes on. I would say like goes on in my head as well as other people that I would imagine that are working towards like their purpose. Is this person going to be a distraction? Is she going to make her problems my problems? Is she going to essentially try to tear down the house that was built? And that's from a figurative standpoint, and it's just, again, that attitude. Attitude is so very vital. Your looks will fade, I assure you. Your looks will fade, ladies. How you carry yourself, that entitlement shit is lasting. And there's nothing worse than dealing with, I would say, a poor attitude from a beautiful woman. Let me tell you, because it makes you ugly. It truly just makes you fucking ugly. This whole entitlement shit, cut it out, like for real. You know what I mean? Just so like cut that shit out. It's not going to go the way that you want it. It's not. It's going to put you on a path, what I like to call the 60 and bitter plan. You know what I mean? Where you are any man worth his time is not going to entertain the that princess spoiled shit. And if he does deal with it, I do believe it's not going to be to your benefit at all. And I believe that some of those princesses, I won't say all of them, but some of them really have skills that can contribute to a kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Like literally like a man to a man's purpose. You literally have the skills that can help that. You learning what to say out of your mouth, and that's on both ends. That's not only a woman thing. That's same for a guy. Depending on what you say out your mouth will determine how much credibility people give you when they speak to you. But for, in this case, women, that I'm speaking about, that just love to pop off at the mouth, just have to be heard and want to talk over people, like it's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's only helpful in court. It's only helpful in court and in a hospital. You know what I mean? Like when you're trying to see a loved one that might be on a deathbed or something like that. That's when you use those skills. Or in a clothing store, you know what I mean? Trying to get whatever, speak to a manager type thing. Use it for when it's beneficial, not just for the sake of doing it just so that you can be validated. And like I said, while dating with a purpose and being able to recognize things that are detrimental to success, detrimental to a man's peace, detrimental to a woman's peace, for that matter. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. It's not going to be all roses and rainbows, but unnecessary conflict doesn't do well. It does not fare well for any of us. Like it's like learning the difference. Again, I mentioned before, Richard Cooper is really where I got it from. It's like learning the difference between anchors and sails. Like, is this person holding you back? Are they dragging you down? Or are they lifting you up and adding to your sail? And you have to evaluate that. Now, I believe a lot of us have outdated dating mechanisms. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we're still riding our dating style from middle school. Oh, I think he's cute. I think she's cute. I like you. I like you too. You don't know them to say you like them. You know what I mean? Now you're attracted to them, and of course that's where the dopamine comes in, and you know what I mean, like all those emotions that that are exchanged amongst one another. Said the neurochemicals that go off when you're around said person, but what about when you see something that you don't necessarily care for and the honeymoon is over? Now it's like trying to figure that out, and then that's where it's like a lot of people are out the door. You know what I mean? About like said relationships instead of learning how to love an individual. Now, what we're talking about is loving individuals that are working to be healthy. Not learning to love a toxic motherfucker. No, that's like you've gone through too much to go through this shit again. You know what I'm saying? Like for a lot of us, for me, I'm almost 40, so it's like you've gone through too much to get here. To all the hours in therapy, all the time sitting with your thoughts, processing shit, dealing with family, dealing with stuff with family, dealing with relationship stuff. It's like you've gone through too much to go through some more shit. You know what I mean? So like taking time to evaluate, is this healthy for me? And they very well might not be intentionally doing this to you, but you have to love yourself more than you love that toxicity that's going on. You're not able to like encourage that shit, You're not able to enable like that, or it's recommended to not enable that behavior for your own mental health. Like a lot of us have gone through some toxic shit. We get traumatized and we find ourselves going through the same toxic cycles, wondering how we end up in the same fucking relationship with a different face, because we're wired. This shit is normal to us. So it's like learning what's best for you and what's normal to you. What are you used to? You know what I'm saying? What's normal and what's best for you. And it takes time, man. It really does take time. So, as far as dating with a purpose goes, take your time. Take your time with that shit. Like, because forever's a long time. And divorces are not cheap. Not at all. They're not cheap. And they don't fare well for the guy most of the time. So, if you're going to make that decision, you better be damn certain that this is somebody that you can necessarily work with, and like building a future. I mean, that's clearly like that's my ideology about as far as like a man dating with a purpose, and those are the things that go through my head. So it's like really like vetting and evaluating, are these character traits beneficial for me? Or are they something for the time? Or is it something that's going to tearing me down? That's the things that would go through my mind about dating with a purpose. Do you believe love is enough to keep a relationship alive? No. Immediately no. Love is not enough. And this is mainly due to, I want to say, since the caveman days, if you will. It's like understanding that men and women love differently. And these are survival means. I guess the best way to kind of explain it, catches people off guard and shit like that. As a man, ask yourself, if you lost your job. If you lost your job and you didn't want to work, and you didn't want to do anything. would she still love you? You know what I mean? Like, would love keep you in that relationship? I've had various conversations. I've seen women try to tiptoe around this shit and say, well, I was with a person for so many years that didn't work. And how did you feel in it? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it ain't for everybody. And I'm not saying that everybody leaves due to it. But not having your own, not leading is a detriment to men, period. Because, I mean, really, what can you say? What can you say if you do not have a job? What can you say when you do not own a car? And that's like you're in, of course, like the cities that have public transportation, that's probably the fastest means. But like for suburban area motherfuckers, when you don't have a car, when you do not have a job, when you have no skills, period, see what the potential is out there for you. And that's just something for men to understand. If you want to be, in my mind, if you want to be treated with respect, you know what I mean. You know, Chris Rock has that saying: only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Men are loved based off what they can do. And I firmly believe that. I truly do believe that, because, yeah, if I were to lose my job, if I were to lose my car, I don't see many women looking for that. They might want a good time or something like that, but you're not building shit with somebody who doesn't have anything to build. But that's just one aspect of what I believe it takes to make a relationship work. Love is not enough. To me, love is not enough. It's effort. You know, effort. Watering the plant is key. In my mind, leadership as a man. I believe that is my duty as a man, is to lead and not sit back and allow my significant other to do everything. I mean, I've seen that, and I've seen how those men get treated for allowing their woman to do it. And it's sad to see. You know, it's like you'll be in stores and you'll see a woman yelling at her husband like he's her son, and you're like, I don't believe he's allowing this shit. You know, or, you know what I mean, like being yelled, told what to do, like that to me, I stand by the fact that men view love as respect, period. If you tell me you love me, but you show signs of disrespect to me, you are manipulating the shit out of me, because I like how it sounds. I like how I love you sounds, but I don't like how I feel around you, which is very important. How the fuck do you feel when you're around a person? Energy. Everything, when you look at shit from an energy standpoint, how do you feel when you're around a motherfucker? Like, do you want to get away from them? Do you feel like, oh, I'm on eggshells? Like, or do you feel at peace, man? Do you feel home when you're around this person? Like, that's what I equate like to be love. And it takes effort. Again, it takes effort, and and based off of a man, based off of a man leading. And then also a woman finding a man who is worthy of leading, and then allowing, and trusting a man to lead. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? And it takes work, bro. It takes work, because a lot of us wasn't taught this shit. It was not something that we saw. It was something that we had to learn and have grace, but at the same time, don't allow yourself to to fall in quicksand when you're dating. Fellas, if you got a woman that is not great with finances and wants to keep spending shit, going on trips, and you guys got bills, that woman does not care about the family. She does not care about the fucking family. Ladies, if you are involved with a man and he turns to you for everything and has no idea what to do, has a deer in the headlights look, how are you going? Where do you turn to? I would ask. I really would like to know, where are you going to turn to when you need guidance. If everybody's coming to you, who the fuck do you turn to? You know what I'm saying? Like I believe there's a duty. There is a universal, a divine duty for us as men to lead and also know how to do it. And there's certain skills that a man must be equipped with before he decides to embark on a relationship with a woman, especially a committed relationship. So it's not something you want to just rush into. Don't get caught up in the emotions that you feel around said person, because chances are you might be marrying your parent, essentially. You know, you end up getting with somebody that makes you feel like your dad or your mom, and then they end up parenting you because you have no idea how to live your life, and you feel like a parent. You have to give them compliments, you have to encourage them, and they don't know how to stand on their own 2 feet. I mean, don't get me wrong, partnership, you know, of course it goes hand in hand or whatever, but a man must lead. That 50-50 shit, sure, okay, yeah, a man must lead. That's to me. And at work, you know, is the boss equal to the subordinates? It's not. The boss is here, and there's here. You know what I mean? So it's just like being able to submit, trusting that leadership, being able to enter a worthy frame. As you know, as mentioned in like the manosphere, and that's really what it boils down to, fellas. It's like putting in that effort, man. Us really putting in the effort of bettering ourselves, becoming the best version of ourselves, and same thing with women, becoming the best versions of yourself. Like the better you love yourself, the more you will repel the bullshit that you used to enable from everybody, not just people you're dating, just, you know, people in general. And but love, yeah, love is to me love is not enough. It takes more. It really does take more. Like for the respect to be there, and that's what, like I said, I believe men view love as respect. You know what I mean? So if you're not able to be with somebody who can respect you, then what do you really have? And, you know, it's tough. It's tough because no one gives a fuck about a man when he goes through problems like that. Not for a long-term standpoint. You know what I mean? Like if you got to continue, like I said, you have to continuously parent a grown-ass man. You know, it is a turnoff. I truly believe that it is a turnoff. And the same thing goes for us men if we have to be a dad to you long term. Now, given that feeling of safety is that you might have had with your father, I'm all for it. But literally, you turning to me to fix your problems like a parent would is an issue. You know, that's an issue. It's holding me back. It's gonna hold you back too, because you have the power to fix your problems. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's just my theory on it. But like I say, I don't even know how long I've been talking about this shit. I could talk about this shit all day, and it just rambles off the dome. But for me, love is not enough. Love is not enough to keep a healthy to keep a relationship. It takes more. It takes effort. It takes leadership. It takes guidance. It takes being poised. It takes it takes masculinity, honestly, and learning that more and more day by day. Certain skills and just trying to sharpen those skills of masculinity each day. It's not easy. It's a challenge. It definitely is. And minding your behavior and guarding the thoughts, you know, that go through your mind as a man, you know what I mean? That's why it's important to have a brotherhood, so that you can, again, be able to, if you need somebody to turn to, you can turn to other men. But you're not gonna make your woman feel safe if you keep going to her to get out of shit, to get out of problems. That's just my theory. Some may agree, some may disagree. That's why we have this forum. It's perspective. It's not right and wrong here. But like in my mind, my perspective is like if I were to continuously go to a woman I was seeing like to fix like all my problems, I believe she would get tired of that shit. And I mean, for us as men, part of masculinity is problem solving. You know what I mean? So and being able to make decisions, being decisive, and if it works out, great. If it fucks up, great. You know, just accepting it as is, taking accountability for said thing. Love's not enough, but that's okay. We just got to be educated more on what is effective, what can be effective in relationships, rather. I mean, essentially, that's all I got for it. Yeah. So the question is love enough? I don't believe so.